Leafs are playing today.
Leafs are playing Game 5, going down at the bank, Scotiabank Arena. Panthers and the Leafs. Can the Leafs do it?
Yeah, apparently.
They call it the bank now?
We do
I'm
now.
calling it the bank.
It's not bad,
It needs a
actually.
name.
It's the bank.
Scotiabank
But
Arena.
is that a money though? Is it money though?
Huh?
You know the bank money? Are they money? Are the Leafs money at home? Have they been money at
No,
home?
they haven't been. 1-4 at home. Not great.
Inflated egos in that team.
Yes.
Woo!
I got a stat. Listen to this one. Nylander, Marner, Matthews, and Riley all reaching their 50th NHL playoff games tonight.
Wow.
What does that mean?
There's
Nothing
a lot
so
of.
far.
Does it mean absolutely nothing?
They played a lot of first round games.
It means they're not inexperienced now, right? It does say that.
They weren't inexperienced for the last couple of years.
The 50 playoff games. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
that's veteran territory
season
in playoffs.
Whereas, McCabe's got what?
11.
McCabe, yeah,
10.
He's
10
got
now,
10
yeah.
games
10,
under his
right,
belt. They will tie Gary Roberts and Harry Watson in franchise
Oh,
history.
Watson.
Yeah, Watson.
I
One
have
of my
no idea
favorite
who
guys.
Harry
The
Watson.
water.
I should probably say this off the top of the show. So, Matthew Nyes was taking shots at practice on Ilya Samsonov. Both aren't available for Game 5, but a good sign nonetheless. I mean, if there's a player that they need right now based on the lack of goal scoring, Matthew Nyes is probably
Who's
that
more
guy.
important, Samsonov or Nice? If you could
Oof.
get one back in the
that's a
lineup
good one.
right now, who would it be?
Nice.
Probably
Because of the
Matthew
way
Nyes.
Joseph Wall played in Florida, he's played very well. Now we'll see what it's like when under the bright lights of the bank tonight. But I think Matthew Nyes would be
I would say more for the way the players played in front of Joseph Wall because they weren't doing that in front of Samsonov. But at the same time, they weren't really in this position with Samsonov, right?
Yeah, but they played what Keith said was their best game of the playoffs.
Yeah.
In the last game without Matthew Nice,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, more of a shutdown game. The
interesting.
lack of scoring.
I think
is
ideally they're
strange.
both healthy. Let's be honest here.
They've only scored 8 goals in the series. They
Mhm.
scored 21 against Tampa Bay. Obviously, one of those games being a 7-2 win.
Yeah.
But
Get-
scoring
they-
is definitely an issue.
Do you get the feeling they're due for a breakout? I got that kind of
I
weird
keep
gut
Sharms. I
feeling.
keep hearing this due thing. I keep hearing, oh, they're due for a good performance at home, 1-4. Tampa Bay lost 3 home games.
Mhm.
When are they due? What does this mean? The due thing?
Yeah.
They were the Leafs. Excellent. I think the 3rd best home record in the NHL during the regular season. It's not clicking at home right now for some reason. We have a clip I'll play later from Paul Maurice talking about what it feels like to be a road team, and he kind of describes it really well.
I
But
was going to say on the flip side, Matthew Tkachuk hasn't scored yet. We talked about that. Is he due to have an offensive breakout and
He's
potentially?
been quiet, right?
Yeah.
He's been quite.
Is he
quiet.
due
I mean,
for a
aside from
big-
feeding Mitch Marner after the whistles in the last game?
yeah, we didn't get your
Wait,
take
yeah.
on
What was your
that.
take
Let's
on
hear
that?
it.
What was your take on that?
We had. Did you watch the show
Yeah.
yesterday?
Of course,
Barnaby.
of course. What else am I gonna do?
Yeah, we talked about it a lot. Barnaby talked about
I
it,
was
gave us a
watching and
different
judging.
perspective.
Critiquing. Okay, so he laughed in his face, which was good, I suppose.
Give us your honest opinion when that was going on.
I-
What were you
I-
doing?
What was the
punch
raw
him back?
Yes.
That's what I was thinking.
Totally.
Punch him back.
Yeah.
Mitch. I don't expect you to be a physical presence. I don't. But you
Mhm.
can't just stand there and let a guy punch you in the face. And I hope there's a little bit of retribution tonight. Be
There won't
smart about it. But I mean, they took liberties after the whistle in the last game against arguably the Leafs' best player, right? Most important player in the regular season. Big liberties. Someone's got to lay one on Kachuk.
But
They have
then,
to,
do
but
you
I don't
risk?
think they will.
Then do you risk then taking a penalty?
Well, that's the
And
thing, right?
then
Bad penalty, but it's not a great power play. in
Florida goes
fairness,
on the
but-
power play. Yeah, I'm saying they're not.
Be
that-
smart about it.
be
Be smart, but you can still send a message without being stupid about it.
We'll see. I think, to me, again, the Leafs are backs. I know everybody's kind of feeling good that they finally got a win, and they're this comeback train is now rolling. But they don't play their best game again. If they don't play, they didn't play their best game last game, right? They played a very good road game,
Mm-hmm.
but if they don't play a good 60 minutes at home and they lose again,
They just got to
done.
play that exact same game. And
They
going
just
back
have
to,
to play.
retribution,
Mhm.
going after somebody, it's you definitely walk in that line. I mean, look what Alex Pietrangelo did.
Yeah.
He tried to take Leon Draisaitl's arm, head, his whole body, he tried to cut his body in half, essentially. He got just a 1-game suspension. I thought, listen, minimum 2 games. That is a complete non-hockey play. The puck is gone. He's a third defenseman coming in.
Do you think maybe
And he
his
hacks at
reputation,
Draisaitl.
he's a pretty clean player, right? His reputation, because I mean, Bunting got more than that, obviously.
I think-
Yeah, that was my comparison. I compared
Yeah.
the two.
But the
There's
thing
no
is,
consistency.
I think
No.
you know what played a big factor in this, and it's horrible that it plays a factor, is that Draisaitl wasn't hurt. Like, there was video on the broadcast of Draisaitl telling his teammates, "Don't worry about it. Don't do anything. I'm fine. Just play." Right? And again, it's wrong for the NHL to compartmentalize that when they're trying to make a decision, right? But the fact of the matter is this: Alex Pietrangelo, as you mentioned just on the show, the game at the carnival or the circus with the
circus.
hammer,
Yeah,
right?
that's what
He
he did.
literally tried to take off Leon Draisaitl's arm, right? And I think that right there should have been the sole thing. And the fact that Darnell Nurse got suspended Again, for the instigator rule, again, I don't know if I really.
It's not a 1 for a 1. I
It's
think
not a
that's how
1
they
for a
looked
1.
at
It was not an eye for an eye.
Mhm.
I think they should have, if they actually kept the Nurse suspension, which they did for 1 game, you had to give Pietrangelo at least 2 because now it's just a wash, right?
Okay, let's quickly bring in producer Sean McCormick. He wants to
Speaking
say
of
something here.
carnivals,
Hey, it's a circus back here, boys. Yeah, no, I was just going to bring up exactly what Justin just brought up. Essentially, is just that you can't give Pietrangelo and Darnell Nurse the same punishment, especially because Mark Stone came out after the game and said that Nick Hague actually asked Darnell Nurse to fight at the face-off. So it wasn't even like an instigation thing. It shouldn't have been. I don't even think Darnell Nurse should be suspended. I know it's the rules, but I think when you take that into context, I think that eliminates that. So I agree with Albert. Like, you got to give Pietrangelo more than 1 game. If you're giving Nurse a game, it's got to be at least 2 or 3 for that crazy play.
Yeah, for an incident like that, I don't think
he's
history
using
matters.
a stick as a weapon. It's that
Yeah.
simple, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Which it shouldn't be allowed, and it's not allowed, right? And what he did, the raise is so high and come. Yeah, I mean, it could have been so much worse.
It'll be interesting. They play tonight as well.
do.
I mean, nothing like some good old Canadian playoff hockey on a Friday night,
Yes.
not a Saturday night.
Yeah, gonna miss tomorrow night.
And then you got Mother's Day potentially for the Leafs, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about just about tonight's
That's a good
game.
point.
Let's just
actually.
Yes.
live in the moment. Live in the
Sunday.
moment.
Extra flowers, Sharps.
Yeah,
Extra
that's right.
flowers.